Welcome back, everybody. I'm Damon Hatfield. Now it's time to take a look at Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This is Mac from Ubisoft Quebec. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, Syndicate, the first modern Assassin's Creed.
Absolutely. It takes place in London in 1868. And like you said, we like to call it the first modern Assassin's Creed game because it takes place at the door of our age, our more modern age. And we've taken advantage of that to introduce tons of new innovations for our players. So I guess our viewers are seeing this footage on screen right now. And what you see is your first look at Jacob. So Jacob, a lot of the game has to do with building your own gang. So Jacob here is bringing his gang to a fight against the Templars, who are trying to use the gangs of London to control the working classes. So when they do that, they can control the city. So the twins Jacob and Evie Fry will fight their way through the city to conquer it and grow the influence of their gang. So what our viewers can see now is our new fight system. Just a quick glimpse at it. It's more reactive and responsive than ever before. And it's all about using short-range weapons. So modernity brings with it the invention of the police force. So it was invented during the Victorian era. And as such, you could no longer walk down the streets with a sword at your hip. You would have been arrested. So it's all about cane fighting, brass knuckles, and much more brutal.
Whoa.
Another introduction in Syndicate is the systemic vehicles. So any carriage that you can see, you can ride and hijack. So what's fun about those carriages as well is that they drive themselves also if you just let go of the reins. So you can go on top, fight on top of carriages, shoot from the top of the carriages, and the enemies are aware of this as well, and they can jump, try to hijack to put you out of the vehicle. So our target right now has entered Victoria Station. So trains are going to be a big part of Assassin's Creed Syndicate as well. So and those train stations were kind of the cathedral of the Victorian era, and they're going to represent a very different architecture than what we've seen in past Assassin's Creed. So our target has made it to the platform. We've just lost him on the platform right there in front of the train. So the rope launcher that you see on screen is one of the new and most iconic tool of the Assassin's Creed Syndicate experience. It allows you to climb on top of structures at the press of a button, but you can also use it to traverse horizontally and drop onto moving objects like the train that you will just see. So it's super useful to traverse the city that has wider streets now that we're in the modern era, and now that the buildings are taller, it's a super useful tool to get on top of those buildings really fast. So fighting on top of trains is really one of my favorite parts of the game as well, because like it gives you such a majestic scenery. We see Big Ben in the back, Westminster Palace, and we've brought back the multi-finishers, as you've just seen, multi-counters, and the gun that you can use to headshot people. So Jacob will now close in for the kill. So we still have those amazing assassinations part of the game. So what you'll be doing in Assassin's Creed Syndicate is hunting down Templars. So right from the start, you know who the big bad guy is and who his lieutenants are. So you'll be tracking them down in the city as both Jacob and Evie, and removing the influence that the Templars have on London. And here at the end, we'll have something that our players have been waiting for a long time, that we're just going to tease on top of Big Ben. Evie Fry, Jacob's twin sister, that our players will be able to choose to play as Evie in the open world, either play as Jacob or Evie. Both characters have their own skill tree. Jacob specializes more in fight, and Evie a bit more in stealth. So you've got two different play styles that are there.
It sounds like I'm more of an Evie guy then.
Seriously, I just love playing with her. Every time I get the chance, I switch in the open world and play with Evie, and she's got her own super interesting story as well. So you get to see those two characters, which are really, really different from one another. So Jacob is more brash. He tackles every situation head on with a smile. He doesn't think too much before he acts. And Evie, on the other hand, is more. She thinks. She's more strategic. So this is why she's more specialized in stealth. And as the game evolves, the story of the game evolves, we'll see those two characters evolve as well and kind of meet in the middle.
We also have a new trailer that we can pull up here, but while they get that loaded, how do you split your time between the two characters? When you're not in a mission, can you be either one?
Well, it's really up to you. So
Okay.
when you're not in a mission, you choose to either play as Jacob or Evie, and they both have their own outfits, their own equipment, so you can choose to invest on whichever one you want, and or both. And in the narrative side, you've got missions that you play as Jacob and others that you play as Evie, and both their stories intertwine.
And you're saying you're trying to build up your faction, is that right? Or
Your gang.
Your gang, I'm sorry. How does that work in the game? You can bring your gang to a fight?
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that I love the most about the game is as you grow the influence of your gang, as you conquer strongholds, liberate children, hunt down the Templars, the influence of your gang spreads, and you will see them more and more in the streets of London. And you can just, at the press of a button, recruit them to come with you, and you can recruit up to 5. And if you jump on the vehicle, they'll jump on that vehicle with you. So they'll open the doors, be there until you can move around with your gang. And if there's not enough space left, they'll hijack a cart of their own. So you move with your gang around in the city, and you can create situations that are absolutely crazy.
And that's kind of what we're seeing here in this trailer. He's got his gang with him.
Absolutely, and the red guys are the gang that we call the Blighters. They're under the control of the Templars. In this trailer, the Templars are using the Blighters again to oppress the working classes, and Jacob sees them in action. He sees that as a call to action and intervenes to track down those Templars. One of the
Here, I think this is where the horses take an unfortunate fall off the bridge.
Yeah, they fall off the bridge. And that's one of the cool things about the game as well, is that the vehicles are all physics-based, physics-driven. So it creates tons of scenarios that we did not think of because it's just all systemic. So at one point, I know I was on the top of a carriage, and the carriage had an accident, and I was flipped into the air, pulled out my gun, and killed an enemy. So I felt super cool.
Yeah.
So there are tons of unpredictable moments that can happen because those carriages are all physics-driven. So we've got those carriages, a lot of diversity in them as well. You've got trains and boats on the Thames, which is something that we'll reveal a bit later on. But one of the things that makes this London so incredible a playground for us is the Thames River in the middle. It splits the city in two, between the northern side, which was more politics, royalty, and finance, and the south side of the Thames, which was really industrial. So we are in the trailer right now. What our viewers are seeing is more the industrial side of London, and it's going to feel very different, bring a lot of different colors into the game that we haven't seen before in Assassin's Creed. So now Jacob will he's going into this bar where the Blighters are celebrating with the money that the Templars have given them, and we'll get a glimpse at the new style of combat of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is bringing people much closer together. So what we try to capture in this trailer is really the fact that everybody attacks you kind of simultaneously, which is something we are replicating in the game experience. So previously in Assassin's Creed, one of our things our fans found was that they could just wait and counter an enemy and attack them. So right now we're trying to make it more of a dance between the different enemies. It's about incapacitating them, stunning them, and moving on to another enemy. So it's what we've seen right here. And Jacob is not a ruthless and brutal killer. He's not gonna just kill someone who's already down. So he leaves him, and that's how he rallies people around him, as we can see in the trailer. So he could have killed that guy. Guy tries to kill him back, but his own gang turns against him and decides to follow Jacob. One of the cool bits at the end as well is that Jacob's gang is called the Rooks. So the Rooks is the name of the bird. It's the name of a chess piece as well.
Right.
So really many significations
Nice little,
to it. Yeah.
Nice little metaphor there. Cool. That's a look at Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That's out in October.
October 23rd on Xbox One, PS4, and later in the fall on PC.
Cool. Mac, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you. Pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. Lots more to come from E3 here at IGN.